Welcome back, everyone, to the House of Queens podcast. We haven't seen you all in a while, but we're here now. And today we're going to be talking about this presidential campaign.
Yeah, that was a really weird pause.
It's an interesting topic, and a lot of people have different views on it. So I think it would be good for us to kind of, throw out some pros and cons of each and see where that takes us.
Pros and cons of the candidates?
The candidates.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe share a little bit of our views.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely an interesting election this time around because, first and foremost, do I name names?
Well, yeah.
Kamala kind of just came in out of nowhere. She wasn't necessarily voted in, so it's almost like she's just the forced Democratic candidate, and it's a little bit weird for everybody. But then there's the other guy, and there's Donald Trump, and a lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about him, but there's also ones that have a lot of positive things to say about him, and it's really just I think taking a look at from an outside perspective, I made a comment that I think our allies were probably laughing at us for a little bit there, just because everything kind of seemed so chaotic and unprofessional, and some of the events that have taken place, in my opinion. That's kind of where I stand on the whole thing, as I guess in general. What do you think, Ty? What do you think of this election?
I think that I really hope the best man wins. That's where I'm going to leave that, because I feel I am all for having someone who is honest, their true self, who doesn't code switch, and I feel like who doesn't utilize their quote unquote race as a
race
backup for their policies and what they stand for. So that's where I'm at right now. I think, could we have better options? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I wish that we did, but we have to work with what we have. And also, I feel like it's just right now the United States is so divided because of this election. I mean, granted, we were very divided people to begin with, but now I just feel like it's so black and white all over again, and it just seems like some kind of agenda, and it's really, really unfortunate. So that's the hard part about it all. And I feel that also, again, going back to Kamala, the focus is very heightened on her race and what her gender is, more so than what her policies are and what she stands for on morale. So, and there are some policies that I agree with. Like I said to Dina earlier, I don't think one individual is all bad and one is all good. They both have their pros and cons. And it's just really, really unfortunate that, it's so race-based and not policy-based when it comes to the Democratic Party. And I wish more people thought with logic more so than their emotions on both sides, because it's like a really emotional time right now.
It is.
And oftentimes a lot of people have an opinion and they don't necessarily know what's going on either. And that's embarrassing. But
they don't check the facts.
My suggestion for everyone who's watching is just like, before you make a decision, like really dig into each individual candidate. And I know if most of the time people are just like, well, I'm Democrat, so I'm not naturally going to vote for the Democratic Party, or I'm Republican, so I'm naturally going to vote for the Republican Party. But like, really look into these individuals and see if they stand for what you want, and not just vote for just like, again, emotional, or this is what I've been doing forever. Change is good. Reconsider some things and see if those people are aligned with what you believe in.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. To make a comment on the division that we've been seeing lately, especially with everyone's political views. I mean, I've seen it like ruin friendships.
Yeah, my husband and I are completely different. Like, I'm definitely leaning more on the conservative side, where it counts. And I obviously, like, there's some liberal things that I agree with. I'm not all like conservative, but for the most part, I'd say I'm like 85% conservative, 90% conservative. And my husband is very liberal, to the point where it's like sickening. But we make it work. But there are times where obviously, like, there is friction and tension, and
that's the thing. There's a lot of tension in those relationships with people that have different political views.
100%.
Which is, I mean, it's always great to talk politics with the people in your circle, because there's always room to learn about more, and someone might know something that you don't. However, it's also, you know, it's like you almost have to walk around eggshells around certain people when you say certain things about each party, because it's like defense mode.
Yeah,
you know?
Naturally, and I always find it so weird when that happens.
Yeah, it's like
it doesn't matter who I'm voting for at any given year, because there were years where I leaned more to the Democratic side, and there were years where I'm like, I'm Republican for the way. So like, but I've never was the type of individual that would get defensive because of someone else's like beliefs or who they're like voting for or anything like that. It's like, do you like? It's not an attack on me as an individual. Like, these are your beliefs, but then there are people who, again, they're so this like rouse them up. It gets them so emotional.
There's a sense of sensitivity.
And yeah, and it's like, at the end of the day, guys, like, truth be told, whoever is in office or whoever's running at that given time, they don't personally know you. They don't personally real estate agent stuff. They don't personally know you, right? So like, why let these individuals, regardless of what side that you're on, affect your personal relationships at the end of the day? Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Whoever's in office is going to be in office.
And no one's going to change that.
And it's not going to change unless they die or do something like terrible. So it's like, you know, just don't let this small period of time that gets everyone so riled up like affect your relationships in a negative way.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Kamala's not going to be on your deathbed. Neither is Donald Trump. So just keep it together. It's not that deep to ruin relationships. That's
no, it's definitely not deep enough to be ruining long relationships. But
yeah,
I wanted to bring something up. So what do you think about Trump getting shot at that rally? What are your thoughts on that? Because I know the numbers went up, right? Well, it's a controversial topic. It's like a conspiracy theory almost, as a lot
I was going to say, isn't
saying.
that like mainly like I just think that there's a bunch of conspiracy around it.
There is, and a lot of people were saying that it was staged.
It could very well be.
Either way,
I mean,
works.
the United States, nothing surprises me
with this country.
But it also could have not been, and you know, so I don't necessarily have an opinion on it. Like, if it 9 times out of 10, the likelihood of it being staged is slim. And I always like to put it in the other perspective. Like, if that was Biden, if that was Joe Biden, would they say that was staged?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, they're like, oh my God, that poor old man. Oh my God, he can barely count to 10 and they're shooting at him. Like, it would be like, people would be so emotional, but because it was Donald Trump, it's like, oh, it's staged. So, but you know, at the end of the day, like I said, it could very well be. But I don't necessarily have an opinion on it. I'm just glad if it was not staged, I'm glad that he ended up safe, and I'm glad that he came out like a boss at the end of it.
Straight gangster.
You know, like I was like, respect, like, but that's my only opinion. Like, I don't.
Yeah, the aftermath.
Let me ask you though, because I have a question. Okay. We talked about this. About Joe Biden, they're saying like since we're on the topic of conspiracy.
Oh my God, I know what you're gonna ask me. I know what you're gonna ask me. Don't shoot.
So Dina showed me a TikTok, and it was of Joe Biden, and apparently he was like
taller,
a few inches taller, and
Not a few inches, honey. Like, it was significantly taller.
she's saying a whole foot apparently.
Because if you look at, like, okay, so here's the reason, or
I love conspiracies.
The ways I judged it is because his wife was there. So looking at him compared to his wife in terms of height,
Sure.
standing next to each other, the difference, you could see that the man, whoever the hell that was in that video, which was not Joe Biden, by the way, he's significantly
Who
taller.
was it?
I don't freaking know.
A reptilian?
They're saying that too. They're saying that too.
I cannot take
know.
Americans seriously at all.
I know. That's why I said we're a joke to our allies. They're laughing. But anyways, yeah, he's significantly taller in the video that I saw, and like his facial expressions were a little bit different compared to the regular Joe that we're used to seeing on TV. So I don't know. I've heard things like he's just not well, and they're having to have somebody else fill in his shoes in these I don't know, speeches and like appearances that he has to make. And I'm like, that's just so weird to me. But I swear, like, I have to find the video. We'll include the video in this video. And you guys can be the judge and tell us if you think that was Joe Biden or not. Because I, like, 110% don't think that was Joe Biden.
I would absolutely love to hear people's input and thoughts about this.
Please
because
tell us in the comments.
It's really... Again, like for me, like I am such like a middle ground person. It could very well be someone else in a clone suit because I truly think those things do exist, especially in 2024. I mean, we have AI. Why would we not have clone suits? But
technology is too advanced for it to not exist.
At the same time, it's also like, how tall really is? I don't know how tall this guy is. Do you know?
No, I know I'm top of my head, but
so she's gonna look it up. But it could very well still be him. So like, I'm Switzerland.
He's 6 feet tall. That man was easily 6'3", 6'4".
Oh my gosh.
I swear.
We're gonna show the video. I'm pretty sure most of these people have seen it.
Kamala's 5'4" and a half.
Oh, she's a shorty.
Short queen.
I mean, I don't.
Not a queen.
She's code switch queen. Did you see the video where she was like at this rally and she had this like southern accent? Like she.
Oh, 100%. I saw that.
I just. And don't even get me started on the twerking.
Oh my god.
At the rally.
At that, okay, that was embarrassing. That was so embarrassing, so unprofessional. Like,
people's excuse is that.
What? The new generation?
She wanted to appeal to the new generation. But it's like
they're not even old enough to vote.
So many people, 18-year-olds and stuff like that.
They're not okay.
The 18-year-olds can vote.
Yes, they can, but I don't think they.
But that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to like through that event, like motivate them.
And that's the thing. Like, okay, the really messed up part about it is because she's doing that to get into these Gen Z's heads.
But it's mostly like the black community because they're afraid they're losing black votes.
And that's the thing, and that's why she's doing the code switching.
Right.
And I'm a black woman.
She's not a black woman.
She claims to be a black woman.
She's not a black woman. She's a brown woman.
Is beneficial to her.
She's a brown woman.
Indeed.
But you're not African American.
Indeed.
Okay.
But the point is, she's creating that persona and code switching to, again, like Ty said, appeal to whether it be the younger generation and the black population in America. And I think that's a terrible way of going about things.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people are easily brainwashed. Like, a lot of people will tell you, I'm voting for Kamala and not know a single thing about her.
Because it's based on emotion.
Like you said.
And I hate to say it, but that is majority of the black population. And I can say that as a black woman. I spend lots of time with my people. We're very easily influenced. We base everything off emotion. We don't look into the finer details. So it's so easy for someone like Kamala to come in and
be the hero,
portray this certain person and really get into their heads. But it takes someone with strength and someone who, again, like who is more logical than emotional to really understand, like, hey, I should probably look deeper into this. And again, not saying she's all bad.
Yeah, but there's some things research. I'm like, and okay, so the one thing that really bothers me, I think I told you about this, is the fact that she's been vice president for 4 years. And she's coming out now and saying, oh, I'm going to change this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Where were you these past 4 years when you had some relevance to be able to do these things and bring it to the attention.
Yeah,
right?
there's checks and balances. There's only certain things that she can do, but I mean, she has the influence with being vice president for sure.
Right.
And one of the things I do know she failed at that was like a task of hers to be really to really take control over was the border. But I'm not going to get into the border topic because that pisses me off. But yeah, they did not do a good job there. So all in all, I think it's going to be a very interesting election. I know she's climbing up in the polls.
I cannot wait for
right
the
now.
debate.
And I think the debate will obviously have an effect too. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
it'll be good.
I'm really excited for the debate.
Yeah,
Get
September
my
10th,
popcorn, 6 p.m.
Pacific Standard Time,
Get my popcorn, get my
ABC
soda.
Network.
Not us doing free advertising for
No,
them.
please watch it. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be informative. And
I don't know somebody who isn't gonna be watching it. To be
a
honest
lot of
with
people
you.
don't give a crap. That's why I'm like, hey guys, you should look into.
I've
you should
noticed
watch it.
different though. Like everyone that I've spoken to is actually very excited to see it, to watch it.
Well, that's good. I hope more people do. It's
I think it's very important.
it's very entertaining.
The last one was very entertaining.
I wouldn't say it's important. I look at it like I'm looking at Love Island or
Oh no.
It's like
not Love Island.
It's very entertaining.
Well,
stuff,
there you have it,
especially
ladies and
Donald Trump.
gentlemen.
Like this guy is.
It
he has
seems like
no
reality
filter.
TV.
It is real, and he's
100%.
made for that. That's what he was doing.
That's his personality.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, the last one was very interesting, and I can
so
like
good.
so many memes were created, so many sounds, like viral sounds on TikTok were created.
The one thing I don't like about Trump. There's a lot of things I don't like about Trump. But the one thing I really don't like about him is his fluff. Like he just adds on so much fluff to what he does successfully. And then I have to go and after for instance, after the first debate with him and Joe Biden, I had to go and wait for the fact checks. And I'm like,
yeah, because
before
I
I can-
remember watching after the fact. Yeah.
Before they even started, I was like, oh, I know they're gonna chew this guy up because I know there was so much BS he was just
That he was spitting.
hyping up. Just keep it real.
I watched the
Donald.
review after, and they
So
were saying
funny.
the same thing. Like they were fact checking him a little bit there, based off of their knowledge and what they know was completely wrong. But and there was a lot.
It always is with him.
Yeah, there was a lot, and I was just like, because I remember hearing him say it during the debate, and I was like, oh snap.
It always is with him.
And then there was stuff that I didn't know, and I'm like, I can admit that. I'll take accountability for not knowing these things. So I'd hear him say it, and I'd be like, oh, that's good. And then they'd be like, no, actually, that's wrong. And I'm like, oh, he's done.
He's a piece of work.
Yeah, he's
But-
done.
I would say again, watch the debate, guys, and let us know what your thoughts are. Who are you voting for and why? Let's not argue about it.
Don't get in a fight in the comments,
Yeah,
please.
let's just keep it civil because at the end of the day, like I said, neither of those candidates are going to be with you on your deathbed. So
It's not that serious.
yeah,
It's really
Let's
not.
try to have a civil comment section.
Civil comment section.
CCS, please. CCS. We'll see you next time.